Hello guys. I'm so excited to be making this video because it's been a while since I made a video. The last one I put up was my engagement video, and I want to thank you guys for all of the well wishes and congrats messages and emails that I've been getting. I truly appreciate them, and it really touched my heart how many of you guys reached out to me. I love that. So thank you everybody who watched, who commented, who emailed. Thank you. I really wanted to make this video before I started washing my hair, because once I get into that, that's just gonna be an all night thing. So I'm like, let me make a video, because who knows when I'll have time to do it after this. I'm pretty sure in the next 2 or 3 weeks my life will slow down, because I'll be getting married in 13 days now. And my first video was actually going to be about wedding stuff and getting spiritually prepared and how to deal with stress, and I'll make that video, but I feel like this video has really been weighing heavy on me, and I wanted to make this priority over that video. So one thing I want to talk about is basically how I believe Christian women have sort of bought a lie. And I feel like a lot of the times we look at other Christian women and other Christian couples, whether it's on Instagram or YouTube or whatever avenue that you see or meet these couples, and we look at their story and we feel like, okay, if I mimic step A, B, and C, then I'll be able to have that type of relationship and I'll be able to get that. If I go exactly what she did or exactly what he did, then I'll be able to get, you know, the man or woman God has for me. And I've gotten a lot of emails and a lot of messages that I love reading, and I love when you guys reach out to me. But basically the gist of the emails are basically questions from women who are subscribed to me, asking me, you know, I'm with this man or I'm dating this man, I'm not sure if he's the one, or he's a hindrance to my walk with God, or he doesn't believe in God. Should I or should I not stay with him? And my biggest fear, and I was sharing this with some women at the Pinky Promise conference. I saw a few of my subscribers, so hello to everybody I met at the Pinky Promise conference. It was so good meeting you guys. But my biggest fear with putting my engagement video up was the fear that it would send the message to a lot of other young women or other single women who came out of a relationship that was really keeping them from walking with God, and they'll get the thought of, okay, well, if Chelsea could make that happen, or if this happened for Chelsea, or if this happened for this woman, then I could go back to this worldly man, or I could go back to this man who is requiring me to have sex with him, or this man is whoever is requiring you to do whatever type of sin, then it's okay for me to go back with him. But that's not the case, and that was my biggest fear when I was editing the video. I'm like, I really want to put this up and I want to share it with the world, and I wanted to serve as a documentation of my journey. But in a sense, I was really nervous, because I knew that a lot of women would take that as, okay, it's okay for me to stay in this relationship, or it's okay for me to go back to this relationship, and that is not the case. That is not the case. So I really wanted to make this video for clarity, and me and my fiance want to do a video together, but it's so hard right now because it's crazy, y'all. Like, our schedules are crazy. It's just a blessing that we're able to even still go to the movies and out to eat with his crazy schedule, and trying to get it to match with mine. So we'll get to that. But I received a ton of emails with women asking for advice, and of course I always tell you guys to seek God on everything, but there's certain things that I'm not going to say you don't need to seek God on, but it's certain things that's what I call Christian common sense. And Christian common sense comes from the Bible. Like, Christian common sense and discernment is in the Bible. And if you know that we're not supposed to be having premarital sex, or we're not supposed to be doing certain things outside of the marriage covenant, and this guy that you're with is telling you that you have to do these things to be in a relationship with him, then your Christian common sense tells you that you can't be with this man, because now it's becoming, okay, I'm going to serve this man over serving God. I'm going to serve him my body over serving God, even though God tells me that I shouldn't be doing this, or God tells me that this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be, you know, living as a living sacrifice to him and denying my flesh and dying to my flesh daily. But because this man or woman tells me that if I don't give them myself, that they're not going to be with me, then I'm going to do that just to keep them. And that's definitely not the message that I was trying to portray. My journey and another woman's journey is not going to be your journey. And trust me, when I got out of the relationship with my now fiance, it was never my plan to get back with him. I didn't break up with him in a sense of, okay, I broke up with you, you're gonna go find God, and I'm gonna keep watching your life to see if you changed. I'm gonna keep watching, I'm gonna keep lurking to see if you changed, so then I could get back with you. No, I had them blocked his number. We were blocked on social media sites. Like, there was no communication, because I felt like in order for me to really get where I needed to be in God, and for him to get where he needed to be in God, if that's what he wanted, like if that's what he wanted, then we needed to do it separately. It was, I thought we would never ever get back together, and anybody who's in my inner circle will tell you that. But that was not God's plan, and I don't want to put the message out there to stay in this relationship, continue to have sex with this man, and just hope and pray that he'll become a godly man and he'll be able to lead you how God designed for marriage. That's definitely not the message that I want to put out there, because in my one of my videos, who you end up with, you really have to realize that this person that you end up with, if they're not a Christian and you are a Christian, and if this man is not a Christian, you have to realize he's the leader. You have to submit to him. So do you really want to be in a situation where you have to submit to a worldly man that does not have that Christ-like love for you and does not love you like Christ loved the church? Because that's how a man is called to love a woman. He's called to love us like Christ loves the church, and we know Christ loves the church. So when I got these messages, my heart was breaking, because I'm like, man. And there's actually a girl at my church, and she has a YouTube too, and her now husband actually have a similar story to mine, and she was unsure of making her YouTube. She has a blog, I'll link it here, and she was unsure of putting her advice and relationship on YouTube, because she didn't want to send out the message to say, this is how you get the man, this is how you get the man to change, this is how you get him to be a leader, a Christian leader. And that's not what she wanted to do. And we were basically just texting about it, and I understood, because it's so hard. Because of course people tell you, okay, be content in your singleness, and come on, like, let's be real. We as Christian women, we want to be married. Some of us want to be married, and some of us want a family. So sometimes when someone tells you to be content, it's like a slap in the face. And you're like, okay, well, you have somebody, you can tell me to be content, but we don't remember that these people were once single too. So it's better to really just not try to mimic anybody's story. And it's so big in the Christian community. Like I said on my YouTube before, I go to the Gathering Oasis, which is Cornelius and Heather Lindsay's church, and I noticed a lot of people via Instagram, you know, really idolize their relationship. And I'll see people even commenting on her pictures or her husband pictures and tagging their significant other, like, I want you to be like this, or I want you to do this, not realizing that their story, my story, the other woman's story who I referred to earlier, it's not your story. And that's not to put your story down or condemn it, but your story is going to be just as beautiful as the next woman's. You don't have to do everything this woman did. It's for you to get into your prayer time with God and figure out what he wants you to do. And don't get in your prayer time asking God if he wants you to leave a man that then, you know, beat up on you, that then cheated on you, that then did, because sometimes, no, all the time, you don't need to be with that man. That's not your husband. He's just a boyfriend. It's not required for you to stay in that relationship and to be hurt by this man. Let it go, because you deserve so much more. And And we know that, and deep down we know that. Sometimes we just reach out to people, more so not for advice, but to have another listening ear when you, because you already know you should leave him. So for my story, I felt like before I even continued on putting this on YouTube, I really wanted to make a video about it, because it was never my plan. It was not something I personally planned. I didn't end my relationship in hopes that he would mature in God and then I was going to go back with him. That was not my plan. My plan was for us to go two separate ways, but God had a different plan. And I was amazed at it, because from when, and this is the crazy thing about it, when I was really in it and I was trying to get out of it, I was like, okay, I want to get out of this, I'm done, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm trusting God. I didn't do, okay, I'm done, I'm gonna break up with him, but I'm gonna stalk him on every social media site, I'm gonna still call and still text and entertain him. No, I really submitted the relationship to God, and I left it like that. That was it. And as I said, anybody in my inner circle can bear witness to that. I just laid it down, and I didn't know what God was going to do. And that's the beauty of trusting God and submitting to God, because you don't know what he gonna do. You really don't know. So, and when you really trust him and in his faithfulness, if he does work it out to a point where he matures this man and he prunes this man and he gives you back to this man that you love, then it's a blessing. Then it's a huge blessing. But that's not to say that you're gonna leave somebody who continues to cheat on you, continues to cause you to fornicate, or is no good for you, whatever your situation may be, and to say that God is going to fix him and give it back to you, because give him back to you or give you back to him, because sometimes that's not the story. Sometimes God has somebody more fitted for you, and even though you can't see that right now because you love this person and you're in this relationship with this person, that's when your faith comes in. That's when stepping out on faith comes in. You know, like, you can go back and watch my video, Conviction Wrecked My Relationship, and in that video I remember saying, you know, God, I don't know where this is going or what is going to happen, but I'm going to trust you. Even though everybody's telling me I'm crazy, even though everybody's just looking at me with, giving me the side eye, I am going to trust you. I'm going to take those steps and just step out on faith and trust you. And even if we don't get back together, even if it's your requirement for me to be single for some time, that's fine, because I know your ultimate path for me is better than what I am in right now, and it's better than what I can imagine for myself, because you know what's best. You know what's best for my future kids. If you'll have me to have any, you know who's best to do that with me. So I'll submit this to you, and that's what I did. So the whole purpose of this video is to really tell you ladies and guys, if you're watching this video, to really not only submit that relationship, but to submit yourselves to God. And I promise he'll speak to you and let you know what direction to go in, whether or not you need to end this relationship. Even though some of these relationships are Christian common sense and discernment, but if you need that extra nudge from God, get in prayer with him, and he will direct your heart and he'll direct your steps. Like the word says, he's a lamp to our steps, so allow him to be that lamp. But when you do get that answer and you do get that confirmation, don't turn away from it. Don't turn left, don't turn right. Do what God is telling you to do, because even though you can't see the bigger picture and you're seeing what's in front of you, what God has for you is so much more beautiful than what you can imagine. And I'm a personal testament to that. God did something with my relationship that I could never do in my own strength, and my fiance could never do in his own strength. It's so amazing when God is in the midst of it. It is amazing, and each and every one of you deserves a relationship that has God in the center, God in the midst of it, a Holy Spirit drenched relationship. Each and every one of you deserve that, and that's really my message for you today. So I will be seeing you guys later, and hopefully I'm able to crank some more videos out in the coming days. Bye.